Hey everyone, welcome to today's video, which is, I believe, part 4 of my coloring book collection, Unfinished Pages. This is the last of the books on shelf number 2. We still have 2 more shelves to go. So this will probably be a longer video because I just pulled more of them off. I did not know. I'll try to go and keep it around a good pacing. But, like I said in past videos, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, because it might be a long video. So let's just go ahead and start. The first few books here I have, because this is how the piles went, are books by Carla Madonna. So I have Dark Garden here. This is a book I would like to complete one day. And I've pretty much just been working from front to back in it with marker and gel pen. Pretty much just using whatever color comes to mind. I just skip over those ones because I'm not really, they're not my favorite ones in either collection in this book. And then I have this one I did for like, when I tested out the Neos when I first got them. And this was the very first page I colored in here. This was markers, acrylic paint, gel pen, stickles, and I think Prismas. I think that is it in that book. We have Wee Wickets. This entire page is a nice shiny page in all stickles. This one I did an acrylic paint wash and then just used gel pens and Posca. That was kind of the theme I was doing with this book for some of the pictures. I started that one and I came back to it. Did the mummy the same way, which is a little bit of pencil shading. And the other one in here is Art the Clown. This is with Crayola markers, and I think I used Crayolas on it for the pencil. But that's my little Art the Clown. Desert Muse. I have this whip I never finished. I think we did this one on camera. It was markers and I believe with some gel pen, and then I think I used the Amazon Basics on here, which are very hard to use pencils. This one I was just starting to shade in because I did the green here. Kind of put a yellow stain there, and I came back to finish it. And then I did do her. We have Spooky Sweets. I think I only have one in here. We did this one. I know we did this one on camera. I forget when we did. I know it was this year, but I forget when. I don't know. Fashion Circus. Here's the title page. Did the Disco Lady. I did this lady. I have to come back to this one. This one is actually probably my favorite of hers. I did one in Lady Heather's Curiosities and Peculiarities, coloring book volume 16 by Heather Valentin. And I did this one. This one was pretty much just with pencil, yeah. I think this was pencil and gel pen. And I think it was the Sergeant Art Supremes. And on camera we did this one. Just did some straight coloring. This one I do not know the pencils I used on. You have Monster Tees pinups, and I think we did this one on camera. And I have my Lily Monster as a whip I need to get back to, and I really want to do, oops. Annabelle, now I just finished watching Annabelle Creation and Annabelle Comes Home. Now I'm in the mood to cut Annabelle. I did, I think, a few in Wicked. I think 2. I did this one. I think it was Markers and Arteza. And then we did this one, I believe, on camera. I think it was Markers and then the Schwifferfarbens or Spurterfarbens. We have another Devil Muller. This is Vampire Vixens. And I didn't, excuse me, I didn't get around to doing a page in here. I wanted to do this one. It is super cute. So I'm gonna leave that one out. I'm gonna go ahead and set that one aside. And now we have my Fabiana Attanasios, aka one of my all-time favorite artists, which a publication house needs to pick her up so that she can do like the art style that is like my favorite, I guess you say. I really like the mythographic style that she does. I think it's good, but it's just not my cup of tea too much. I like this style of hers, which is her storybooks. So I have Peter Pan. I have this one was whipped a long time ago. One of the more ones towards the beginning of my colorings was in 2017, and this was using a budget-friendly brand. I don't know if they're still available. It came in a 72 set. I think they were called Platinum color pencils. But it looked really good on this paper. And then this was one of the first things I did with my Prismas. And then we have Alice in Wonderland, which was my very first. Which I need to do more in. I think I was pretty much I was gonna go from front to back. This one I did with markers, and I did use alcohol markers on the background, just because it is a key page in the background. It's kind of like a wallpaper page. I didn't really care. I was using the platinums on this one as well. Chanel, I believe. I did this double page spread with Crayolas, and I think it was all Crayolas, I believe, I'm not sure. And then I just used markers to do little things, and this was with the platinum pencils as well, I believe. Excuse me. We have the Adventures of Pinocchio. Not my favorite, I will admit. Did this one with some markers and gel pen. This one was with acrylic paint in the background, some pencils for shaded in, and then all gel pens. More gel pens and acrylic paint. So you move my leg and I'm bumping the camera here. Then we have one of my most treasured ones, or next to it, my most treasured Fabianas. First one because of the story it is, and that is The Wizard of Oz. Big, huge Wizard of Oz fan. I did the Emerald City Gates Guard in all greens. I have this whip I need to come back to. I never came back to it yet. I think we did this one on camera if I remember correctly. This one I was super proud of. Because I was Prisma and little Fine Tech Gold. No whip I wasn't enjoying it as I thought I was going to, so I put it aside. So I need to come back to that. And this one just got recently, and it is one of the ones that I was missing, so now I'm only missing Hansel and Gretel, Cinderella, and I think the Jungle Book one. Those are the only ones I am missing now. But I was sent this one in the big huge Happy Mail this past summer, and oh my god, this is amazing. I cannot wait to color more in here. I have one finished in a whip. This one has to be my favorite in terms of the images in here. I just love them. So I did this one here. And I believe I did this one with, of course, gel pen, and I think I used polychromos. And then I have a whip in here I need to come back to. I really might do this one. Mostly just because of this side, not that side, but I have to come back to this one here. I haven't finished yet. Okay, let me grab a drink. I'll be right back. Okay, let's go to the pile now that I know I'll be a bit too fast. I have Fantasy and Mythology, but it is a bending color book. I did this one as a whip. I was going to shade it in, but technically you can say it's finished, so I'm going to say this is a finished page. It's just a collection of different fantasy images. Color America by Donna Moses. Got it Ollie's for 99 cents. Haven't done anything in it. Mostly just got it because it is a stinking cute book. Fantasy World by Barbara Lanza. I said lasagna for a second. I was like, what? think I just have a whip in here. Yeah, I just have a whip. I never finished it. Don't know why, because I'm always right there at the end, but I never finished it. But I need to pull a book out again more too. Alice's Wonderful Adventures is another one I got from Ollie's. Super cheap. Never colored it yet. Ivy and Inky Butterfly. Why is this a separate from the other Johanna Bassfords? I do not know. It is. It was on my shelves. I have this one here. I try to use like non-traditional flower colors and some gel pens for leafing. Start with that one as a whip. And then I finished this one. Stressless Mandalas by Jim Gogarty. This one I have not started anything in it yet. There's just too many in here to choose from, and that's why I was like, haven't started anything in it yet. Color Me Stress Free. If I'm being honest, I actually forgot this one on my shelf. I know that's bad. There's some mandalas, some centangles and doodly pages. But if I'm being honest, I forgot on my shelf, and I feel bad about that. I always hate when I forget books on my shelf. But it happens, sadly. Christmas Adult Coloring Book. You know, all these pick up for 99 cents. It's just kind of like a stock image. Zendoodly images, pages. But for 99 cents fair, why not? Magical Mercades by Deborah Muller, a Zen Doodle coloring book. And I think I did one here. There we go. The Day of the Dead Shaina Kitty. Color by number masterpieces. Will admit I'm not a color by number person. But I did do the Scream. And I think this one is Self-Portrait by Vincent van Gogh, and I did the Scream. And I always pick up Dog Lovers for a Creative Soul. And Cat Lovers. Don't know why I haven't done a page in here yet. I really need to. Coloring Christmas Cast. This was 2016, a 2016 magazine. Kind of like one of the first coloring magazines you really find out and about, you know. And I did the first page here really early on. And then I did this one in Sharpies. This was one of the very first, because I started coloring in, I think, October. So this is one of the very first coloring books I got. We have Mystery Colors, Wild Animals. I started Rhino. found out I don't really like cover numbers, like I said. So I have not gone back to it. Okay, that was a shorter pile that I can fly through. Now we're coming to a pile I do have some finishes and books I want to talk about. So this next book, I was sent this book in the big Happy Meal in this past summer. And this book is stunning. And I am just intimidated by all means by it, and that is Myth and Magic by Kinuko Craft. I have seen, her channel is Olga Rani. She has done a few pages from here, I think in the past few months actually, and they've come out stunning. And I've pulled this book out a few times to color in. It is just so intimidating. But it is very stunning, so I'm gonna need to just bite the bullet one day and pull a page out and do it. Because they're just stunning books. Or stunning pages. Next is 100 Best Grayscales by Elena Lazareva. I have done 2 in here. And surprisingly, they're both by pencil. And gel pen, of course. But I did this one with the Spurterfarbens. And then this one. With, I believe, Spurterfarbens as well. But this book, I love it. The grayscale is intimidating because there's no, it's not Jade Summer grayscale with the lines, you know. So I found just using just colored pencils works the best. Because you don't have to worry about the markers going over the lines or whatever. This next book I'm going to do a page in very soon because it is so cute but kind of messed up. That is the Adorable Cycle of Life coloring book by Alex Solis. Basically, it's other animals eating animals. The Cycle of Life. It is so cute, but so messed up at the same time. So you have to do a page in there. Fairies Grayscale number 1 by Christine Karen. Or Christine Karan. I started this one. Don't know why I never came back to it. And here's this one, which is the Blueberry Fairy. We also did Mermaid Dreaming. We have Fairies 2. And I did the beach one. We have Fantasy Dolls Volume 2. This one I really want to do because the grayscale in here is kind of like Elena Lazareva's. Where it is slightly, like lighter in style. So I do want to do this one, this book soon. This one is in the Fantasy Jails. It was by Jana Prazvarina. Next one by Nadia Valuskova. Magic Beauty. This is a mix of different things: animals, birds, flowers, mandalas, and beautiful fairies. So it's kind of a mix. It has a little bit of everything in there. I don't know if they drew it or just kind of, got stuff from like an open stock source, because there is different styles in here. I don't know, but I'm just going to get to it. You have Ladies of Leisure 3 by Zan Von Zed. And I just start when you get back to it, which is this one here. It's another grayscale book, which I love. Grayscale, you know that. We have Fantastic Beauties Grayscale Edition Book 2. I think I just have... need to get back to this one, because I started up with the marker base down. Wasn't happy with how the skin turned out, so I might have to come in here and do the second version of it. We have Fantastic Beauties Guest Book 1. By Jamina Victoria. I should have said that before. Beautiful Women by Jamina Victoria. I do like her art. There's just something about it that kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't inspire me as much when I go into it. Like when I look at the book, if I'm being honest, I look at it. Like I'll look at the pages, and I'll be like, well, that one there looks like it's gonna be interesting color. Let me do that. Like figure out, like a color scheme. A color scheme never comes to mind, so I never put the book. I just kind of put the book away after a while. Next, we have a stack of an artist that I've only worked in one book, because I just received all of their books in that big, huge Happy Mail this past summer, which I'm still in awe of. I still kind of look at my shelves and like think to myself, like, what? How'd that happen? And that is Bennett Klein. So I am planning 1 month just going through his books, pulling them all off my shelf and doing a page from each one. Maybe I'll start that next month. I do not know, but I will be in my own time. Maybe I'll do one camera, I do not know. This one is the Gothic one, and that was my very first, one of his. But she has that very unique style. And I just did his with markers so far. Next one is Color My Sketchbook 5. This is with, I believe, his daughter, May Klein. So it's a mix of their art. I love that one. So yeah, I'm going to have to sit down 1 month and just work in my Bennett Kleins. This is darker. There's 30 grayscale add-on ones, and these are just on black backgrounds. I love that. Ooh. Okay. I love that dragon. And then we have Wild 2. And you have the first Wild here. These are just animals, like wild animals. And Wild 2. This one is Mythic. That one looked really good colored in. So is that one. So is that one, actually. I think I just might have found my favorite of his. That's creepy. You know what that reminds me of? The Annabelle demon. The little devil thing that comes out in the Annabelle doll in the movies. That's what that reminded me of. We have Unearthed. I like that one. We have Steam. And finally, we have Characters. I'm going to have to go through all of his books on Amazon. I don't think he's actually published a book since 2018, so I hope everything's okay with him. I don't know the backstory. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of his books. Might just have to go on Amazon one time, have extra, and just grab the rest of them and finish up my collections. I do like his art. Like, that is just hilarious. If I was funny, I remember the first time I seen this image. When me and my mom were going to other books when they were sent. Mom was like, this image would have been better if it was one finger over. Which kind of is true, but it says Characters. So like I said, 1 month, I'm just going to have to do a whole bunch of Bennett Klein books. Whimsical Wonders is Artist Edition by Julia Speary. Excuse me. I did this one. I think I did this one with Arteza real brush markers. Could be wrong. I know this one was. Did the Geisha. The Pirate. And the Steampunk Kitty. And this one I just was playing around with some markers. This book is the what book is this? It's a Fate Doorables. I gave the first copy to my mom. So I don't know the name of it. I think it's Fate Doorables Tea Time? Maybe? Don't know. We have adorable animals, grayscale. This is by Jamina. I did this one in markers. We did this one, I believe, on camera, I'm not sure. Started that one, then we can finish it. And that one I wasn't happy with how the kitties came out, so I just kind of set it aside. Now we're on to the last 3 books for this video. Misfits #2, Zombies. My favorite of them. We have Toxic Rainbow. This one is a whip I started and came back to. Looks like my markers really bled through this book. This red here. Okay, so that's not allowed to fix them. They even did one back behind it. This one I'm going to have to fix them. Did that one. I hate when markers do that. Misfits #1. I don't think I've worked that much in this one. I need to come back to it. We did this one. I think it was all in needle colored shoes. I started that one. I never finished it. I think that was because when I started that one, I was using my Prismas on paper. I actually really like Prismas on Amazon paper. And that was during a time when everyone was like, you shouldn't use Prismas on Amazon paper because it eats them up. Which is true, but Amazon paper eats every single pencil up, so... But I just stopped doing it because I was like, oh, I shouldn't be using these pencils on there. I just never came back. This is #4, which is fairies. Testing out Neos there. And a tiptoe through the tulips. Yeah, that is it for part 4. So I'm going to go ahead and edit and upload this. And we are down to probably, I would say 3 more parts. So I'm going to try to finish them up this coming few weeks. Get them done by Christmas, I'm hoping. So yeah, that is it for part 4. Hope you enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in my next video very soon.